Welcome to our first We'll Share and Save and Spend Smart podcast. My name is John Lanza. I'm the creator of the Money Mammals and the chief mammal over here. And in these podcasts, I just want to share with you some information about financial literacy and teaching young kids about money. I feel it's very important to teach kids as young as possible, even before they get into kindergarten, about the value of money. And I recently did a blog post, well, actually not that recently anymore, back in January, about the fact that I was going to, or my daughter was going to save for a goal, and the goal was an American Girl doll. I'm not a big fan of the dolls because I think it's a little crazy to spend $104 on a starter doll, but my philosophy is that kids learn by doing, particularly with regards to financial literacy, and I wanted to give her the opportunity to save if she was willing to spend the time to do that. It was going to take her about 6 months to get to her goal, and what we do is we have these jars, and that's how we do our allowance. When she gets her allowance, she puts some money in her share, some in her save, and some in her spend smart. And what we did is we pasted a picture on the save jar. You'll notice that all the jars are clear so you can see the money accumulating, but she pasted a picture of the doll she wanted on the jar. So it was kind of a reminder every time she did her allowance that she should save her money if she wanted to achieve that goal. And she did a very good job saving for that money. And I will say, the other thing I was very impressed by was when we went to the store, we used it as kind of a teaching moment. So we made sure that she actually had to add up each of her denominations. So she had a bag of dollars, she had a bag of quarters, she had a bag of dimes, and she had a bag of nickels, and then of pennies. So she used that, she did the counting, brought that all in, and the store, this was clearly not the first time they had done something like this. They were very patient with the whole transaction, so little shout out to the American Girl doll store for doing that. You made the transaction, or they made the transaction really great for my daughter. And it also was heartening because clearly it wasn't the first time this had happened, so other parents are doing the same thing, which I think is great, because I think the idea of just kind of spending and buying all your kids these dolls is really problematic, because they're not going to get a sense of the amount of effort that is required to buy a $100 doll. So in any case, that's how we did it. We used this 3-jar system, and make sure you use those learning opportunities like we did. The other thing is that I think one of the mistakes we made in this process is we probably should have had an interim goal. What I mean by that is she had saved successfully for a few other goals. So for example, she had saved $25 for a scooter, something I had blogged about as well. She saved money, about $20 for she wanted a little pottery wheel for kids, so she did that. And then we made this big jump to $104. I think I would recommend doing something in the middle, so say like a $50, then maybe a $75 goal, and then finally a $100 goal, because in the middle of the process she actually lost her way a bit because it was taking so long. It's very hard for a 6-year-old to kind of have that perspective. So she actually ended up buying a bag in the middle of the process, and I used it as a learning opportunity or teaching opportunity. And I told her after she bought the bag that if she had saved that money, she would be that much closer to her goal. And I think that hit home to some extent. I will say she is still using the bag, so that's good. And now she's got the doll. So again, really use these jars, use an allowance system, and make sure you've got some kind of goal for which you're saving. And good luck. Thanks again for watching the We'll Share and Save and Spend Smart 2 podcast. Look for us on Twitter and Facebook. You can get links at www.themoneymammals.com. See you soon.